Hi, just gonna wait a few seconds. See who jumps on. I've this week I've been fortunate enough to get to talk to a lot of my really close friends from around the world, and so grateful to all these amazing people who contribute to my life, who have contributed before, who reach out and just keep bringing joy to my life. I'm super, super grateful. As I was talking to a lot of these friends, some of them would say, I know you're really busy. I don't even know where you are in the world right now or what you're doing or something, but you came to mind and I really wanted to reach out. Hi, everybody. and, um, and I'm so glad they did because they were saying, I figured I'd be interrupting you. I figured you were like on a plane somewhere. I figured you were in a class or doing something or working. So I thought I was going to get your voicemail message, and I'm so glad I got to reach you. Sometimes it's phone tag a little bit, right? Like, they call and then you have to call them back. But for a lot of the friends the last couple of days, I've actually gotten to talk to them like right when they call, I can answer, and it's been really great. And one of the things that I realized was like, wow, well, how many people have been stopping themselves from reaching out to me because they think I'm too busy for them, or they think I'm, you know, on another time zone, so they don't even know if I'm awake or not. All these different conclusions that it is, and it stops them from reaching out. And I'm really grateful for the friends this week that even if they had that idea come to mind, they still reached out anyway. It was like, I'd rather reach out and at least let her know that I'm thinking about her and maybe get the chance to talk to her than not and be like, oh man, I didn't get to talk to her again. I've been really meaning to talk to her. I've been really meaning to call her or email her or text her or whatever it is. And I have that as well. I remember when, I've had a lot of friends who've had kids in the last 10, 15 years. It's continuous. It's just ongoing, right? Like how many of us have friends who they are having kids and they're so tired. You don't want to add to their stress. You don't want to add to everything that they're juggling right now, given that they have an infant and maybe a couple kids before that. And so you may stop yourself from reaching out and saying hi. And one of the things that I've realized, given just so many friends who are having kids and continue to, that they're really, really grateful when they get contact from the outside world because they're in baby land. They're in like, just yeah, in that bubble. And they really love it when somebody reminds them that there exists something else outside of survival of go, changing diapers, feedings, and sleep whenever you can get it. And that seems to apply to a lot of us when we're creating a lot, when we're really busy, when we have all these things going on in our businesses, in our lives, with our families, personally with dating and things like that. We get really busy. And sometimes it's really nice to be reminded of the things that are outside of the bubble, that microcosm that is our lives. And it's kind of blowing me away. It's like, wow, how many times right now am I concluding that I'm not going to be able to reach the person, so I shouldn't even bother? This is sun changing. That's just outside clouds action. Um, how many times am I concluding that I shouldn't even bother to reach out to somebody because they're not going to be available, or they're still holding on a grudge for this thing that happened however long ago that, isn't really relevant or important anymore. They're going to be asleep or whatever it is. And what would it create if I actually chose to reach out anyway? What would it create if I just said, hey, I'm thinking of you and I miss you and I hope you're doing well. Just know that I'm here if you want to talk. And so I had these friends do that this week, and man, what a gift that was. What a gift that was. Thank you, thank you, thank you for those of you, you know who you are, that did that this week. It's one of those things where it's like, how many places were we concluding so many things, and it stops us from receiving from all these people that are willing to gift to us, that they really would love to contribute to our lives. And be it we're sending out this message, maybe energetically, some kind of vibration that's sending out this unintentionally maybe that we're not as available. And so anywhere that I've been sending out that message to y'all, like I'm gonna destroy all of that. Like totally holla, like call me up, text me, email me, message me. I love it. Even if it's a quick little thing, it's those little like peeks into that the joy of life, those little things like, hey, yeah, we have this connection. Hey, yeah, acknowledging that, like, no matter what's going on, like, I got you. Like, I got your back. Like, and I'm so grateful for my friends that did that. There's this level of receiving that's available when, in my interesting point of view, when we're willing to reach out, even if it's a little uncomfortable, even if it's like for someone that we haven't talked to in days, weeks, months, years, like when you get to actually connect with them and talk to them and catch up, and maybe especially those really good friends, you know, when you pick up and it's almost like you just saw them yesterday, but you pick up right where you left off and you start catching up and you just go right into that vibe and right into that the banter or the jokes or whatever it is that is part of your dynamic. Like what contribution could that be to your day and to the rest of your week if you just reached out, if you just said hi, if you just said, hey, you know, thank you for being in my life. Thank you for contributing, be it if it was earlier this week or years ago. Thank you, you know? And so that's one of the things that in this upcoming call that I'm doing, Are You a Sexual Healer? I know, whoa, with the title. We're going to be talking about ways of receiving from people that you wouldn't necessarily expect and really having our barriers down and acknowledging all the different ways that we're already contributing to people, that we've already made connections to people that we didn't maybe recognize as connections, be it people were intentionally trying to make connections with and people who were maybe we weren't trying to make connections with, and acknowledging that and seeing if it's still possible to continue to receive from those people, or if you'd like to change something or make a different choices around that. Like today, this morning I was waking up and I was like, wow, somebody told me, man, like I was by you and it was almost like you were going, like your body was just like sucking all this energy from me. And they weren't freaking out. They were just like, whoa, what is happening, right? And I was like, well, will you acknowledge that you're a healer? And they kind of did a little bit. I was like, okay, whatever little bit you're willing to acknowledge, that's cool. If you don't want to acknowledge it at all, that's cool too. And delightful surprise. What's a delightful surprise, Kimberly? And one of the things I was telling them was, well, you know, fortunately you're an infinite being and you have all of this energy to you. So even though I was I was unintentionally taking all this yummy healing energy from you, you have infinite amounts of it. So you notice how you're not drained? You notice how you're not actually tired, even though you were aware that I was like, you know? And they're like, yeah, that's true. I'm actually really energized. I was like, okay, cool. So like, what if when we're consciously and unconsciously healing people, that can actually be a contribution to us and to that person? And what if we could actually choose when we're doing that or not, instead of it just being this drain? So there's so many of my friends where they do all these different energy works, or they're just really perceptive, aware people, and they walk into different spaces, be it a mall or a school or, you know, a family gathering, and they walk out of those spaces exhausted or irritable or just so not themselves anymore, like that joyful self they went in with. And what if that was you healing all these people unintentionally, or taking up all of their stuff into your body? And what else is possible? What if you could actually have ease with that? First acknowledge it and then have ease with that so that it can be a contribution to your life and their life. Is that possible? Would you be interested in that? Or would you really like the suffering of taking on all of that? And just maybe that's something that you'd really like as well. If it's fun for you, like go for it. It's totally fun. For me, I was doing that for years, for decades, and that's a lot of why I was going through all these pains and illnesses that I didn't know that that was playing a role in it. And now I have this awareness of when I am doing it or not, what people are, could be a contribution, and be willing to like have my barriers down and know that I have an unlimited amount of energy. And so if that's what's required and that's what's going to create something different, cool. Yeah, I'll totally give energy to people. I'm giving energy to y'all right now, in case you hadn't noticed. Um, and and really see like what is it going to create. Really choose it consciously instead of it being a drain on your life, or it creates something that you don't really want it to create. So just an idea on that. I love, love, love. Thank you for reaching out to me. Those of you that have been reaching out this week, I really appreciate it. And please, please, please acknowledge that you are way more powerful than you realize. You are way more potent, and you have these amazing abilities and awarenesses that you may or may not be acknowledging. I'm still acknowledging more and more and more every single day all the things that my body and me as a being are picking up on in the world and in my life around me. And I invite you to join us. Me and Lorene Hughes are going to be facilitating an Are You a Sexual Healer call this Friday, January 26th at, I believe it's 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8 or 8:30 Eastern time. I'll put the link to it here on the feed. If you know anyone else who, after they have sex with someone, they're exhausted, after they're around a lot of people, they're like, what just happened to me? I feel like I got a truck ran over me. You know, all of this can show up in really different ways. For me, there's so many different ways that it has shown up, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Lorene has had her own experiences with that. And we've also chosen to create different things with this capacity. There's a way to use this gift, this capacity, this awareness of other people's bodies and realities to your advantage if you so choose, so that it could make you money. It could create more ease and joy in your life. It could create different connections that are a contribution to your life, living, business, body, to the life that you would truly desire. My life continues to expand as I acknowledge all these different capacities that I have with people and with bodies and with different things like the earth. And so we'll be talking about all of that or none of that, and we'll see where it goes. We kind of follow the energy and our awareness on these calls, but those are some possible things that'll come up that are pinging right now. And I hope that we get to play with you on that call or maybe some other call, but I really, really appreciate everywhere that you've been contributing to me, be it today, yesterday, weeks ago, years ago. And thanks so much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.